Morning, everybody.
Yeah,
My
good
name is
morning.
Akshay Sharma. I am working as Director Projects Pune Metro Line 3. I am a postgraduate structural engineer from IIT Kanpur, a certified PMP from PMI USA, and I've also done an MBA. I have around total work experience of around 33 years, out of which about 20 years have been in a leadership role related to consultancy services and EPC. I have taken voluntary retirement from Indian Railways as Chief Engineer after working for about 20 years. And currently I am working as Director Project in Pune Metro since August 2019. I have earlier worked as Director PMC in Sistra, a French consultancy firm, and Director Operations in Sener, a Spanish consultancy organization. Before this, I have worked as Project Director with Latens Contractor and Parsons Brinkerhoff. Joining with me is my colleague Abhijit Malankar. He is a returning expert, CIM GIZ. He is MSc Engineering from Technical University of Berlin in e-mobility and sustainable energy. His EMBA SIBM Pune and has Six Sigma Green Belt Quality Systems authorization from Fraunhofer Institute IPK Berlin. And also he has a qualification from MTRIZ TU Berlin and is a design thinking practitioner for Climate KIC EU. He has 15 plus years global professional experience in diverse sectors like manufacturing, telecom, carrier, class, voice over internet protocol, enterprise mobile apps, etc. And he has also forayed into the fields of agile and Kanban based software development, software quality assurance, and renewable energy multimodal e-mobility as service model. Clean tech, designing COVID-19 and climate change resistance, high tech, and data analytics are also one of his favorite areas. He has enabled sustainable solutions for small farmers, women, SHGs, and smart cities. So that's all in a very brief about us. Now I will request Abhijit Malankar to take over and do a small presentation of a technical paper. Right, Abhijit, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Akshay Sharma ji. Thank you very much, and welcome all to our presentation. So I'll just give you a brief outline of what we are covering today. Topic for today's presentation is urban transportation: the way forward, challenges and opportunities. And just a minute. And what we'll be doing is we'll be elaborating on ways to maximize non-fare box revenue and improve the monetization of infrastructure for a rail metro project to make it more profitable. And this we are planning to do through end-to-end multimodal green e-mobility as a service, feeder transit integration for commuters and freight, boosting metro rail capacity utilization. So we'll go through this, how we are planning to do this. So it's the presentation is broken down into five contents. It is the first will be introduction about the Pune Metro Line 3. Then the problem statement we have worked on for this presentation, the solutions we have put together, then a recent industry announcement which really support the whole solution, and we'll have a conclusion of the entire solution. So, a brief overview about Pune Metro Line 3. This is like it begins from Hinjewadi IT Hub, then it passes through Aund, Baner, Balewadi, and then it ends in Shivaji Nagar. It has almost 23 stations. Man is the main station for this Pune Metro Line 3, and it is expected to be completed sometime between financial year 23-24, and the process for it has already started. This has been designed in a very sustainable way, Pune Metro Line 3. This is like it has adequate parking space, bus stops for citizens, a ticketing counter with multiple options so that the ticketing is very fast. Safety and convenience is taken care of. It has digital displays. It also works through mobile app, CCTV coverage for safety of passengers, It has integrated services like shopping and retail, ATM, as well as food malls, and in-train services like entertainment, Wi-Fi, etc. And it also offers a very good connectivity to other metro lines, which is line 1 and line 2. And it is also going to offer integrated, you can say, direct access to offices through integrated feeder services that we will see how we are actually planning to design. So there are some very important digitization efforts that have been done for this Pune Metro Line 3. That it has mainly it has automated trains, high-speed trains with just within just 2 minutes sideways. It has predictive maintenance, sensor-based monitoring through smart CMMS to really find the faults if there are any, and really diagnose them without any issues to the citizens. Then it is also going to be a green building, like with rooftop solar and energy, which will offer energy savings to reduce carbon footprint, and it's also going to have rainwater harvesting integrated. Apart from that, it has open loop AFC for integrated ticketless travel, and BIM integrated building from design to maintenance. Then about sustainability and resource management, it is taking care of that through green buildings. Again, we have seen then carbon credits, which will help through which will it will gather through saving of fuel, reduce pollution, and solar rooftops. It is also going to implement rainwater harvesting, and have a very good water resource management for stormwater and drainage systems. Then it's going to be having taking care of comfort and privacy of the citizens by sound absorbent cushioning throughout its lanes, throughout its lines of 23 stations that is there, with noise barriers and view cutters, etc., which will improve the whole view for the citizens. And it's also integrated. The delivery of healthcare is also integrated within it. We'll see that how it can be done as we go ahead. And it is also part of green commitment of Pune Metro Line 3. Like, it is going to be accessed as from the Indian point of view for the green building certification. It is just equivalent to the international LEED certification that is given. So that is the commitment Pune Metro Rail Line 3 has towards ensuring that the entire project is made totally green. Rainwater harvesting is also an important part, which can be used for very good resource management of water, etc. And since it has 23, almost 23 stations, so that will be a very important and very crucial part for the entire Pune Metro Line 3 to make the project more greener as such. Then we come to the problem statement that we are really working on. The issue that is facing for almost all the railways and metro rails worldwide is incomplete capacity utilization. Then there is also a need of multiple non-fare revenue streams for sustainability. Then there is also a need for electric transit, for end-to-end electric transit for commuters and freight, which is missing right now. Like, even if transit happens for commuters by trains, then again commuters are using fossil fuel based vehicles to reach home or office. So that is one of the problems. Then freight transit through metro rail is really absent right now. Very rarely it is done. Then so that can be a good revenue stream. Then a need to integrate with new e-mobility services, like of course feeder e-mobility services, autonomous vehicles, hydrogen trains that are coming up, or hyperloop that will be coming up, drone taxis, 5G, IoT. So these new services will need to be integrated with the metro rail, so that they don't compete with the metro rail going ahead. So that can be very useful to actually increase the capacity utilization. So now in the step to do this, how to do this, we are really thinking about metro rail as an equivalent of the mobile phone ecosystem analogy, where all the services have converged today in one mobile. And that's how we really look at to find a solution for metro rail also. where we want metro rail to be the central point of all these services as we go ahead. That will ensure its sustainability, as well as it will ensure the inclusion of all kinds of citizens also in the success of metro rail, because in some parts the metro rail is facing a lot of resistance because of its huge investments that are required. And so it will be very crucial if we are able to offer all of these services to the citizens, like freight, emergency services. We have already seen how railways are useful for oxygen transport during COVID-19 second wave. Then it can be a solar energy aggregator. It can even be a bio-waste consumer for local biogas to generate biogas-based electricity and use it for self-consumption. It can be a utility partner for water and waste transport. Then it can also be and ensure all electric commuter transport end to end. It can also enable e-mobility and charging on the near the stations. It can also be integrator of autonomous vehicles as we go ahead, and it can also integrate hyperloop and drones because they go hand in hand whenever they are implemented. So this is how we see the metro rail ecosystem, just similar to mobile ecosystem. So that will ensure its sustainability in the coming decades. So, typical smart city sectors, as you are aware today, they are most important is transportation, of course. Then there is connectivity. Then there is fleet management. Then there is environmental monitoring, energy management, and waste management, water management. So you can see we are already touching all these points which are important for smart cities earlier on, and as also we progress in the presentation. So it's really we are on track with what everybody else is working on, and this will really ensure the success. So I think one of the first revenue streams we want Metro Rail to really take up going ahead is it can be an energy aggregator for the smart city, wherein it can enable solar rooftops, it can enable small wind rooftops, it can even enable battery energy storage, and even biogas plants. Like a metro station is a huge, you can say, real estate, and it goes through the central parts of the cities. So you can really make good use of this real estate and probably be even biogas aggregators to really reduce GHG emissions in the smart city. Work with the local municipalities or utilities that can really enable digestion of the local bio waste and generation of biogas, which can be used for electricity generation, and that can be used for self-consumption as well as e-mobility charging. So this is one of the revenue stream in the future that Metro Rail can really think of. So this is explained in more detail here. Like every station can be an energy aggregator and really have a new revenue stream on its cards, apart from the normal fare box revenues. Then another revenue stream is it can be a end-to-end e-mobility service provider for commuters and freight. So instead of looking at like the you can say feeder lines as competitors, you can integrate them very well with your system. Like you can have cars, you can have buses, you can have even freight transport, which can be integrated with the metro stations, and that can in a single ticket you can give a end-to-end transport, and that will really ensure that you have additional revenue streams, and you get more customers or commuters as well as freight to use your end-to-end system. So that will ensure more revenues. Then again, typical e-mobility sectors, you can see they are passenger vehicles, charging infrastructure, and charging networks, charging station management. So these are some of the different avenues you can get into once you think about e-mobility as a feeder line integration. So these are some, you can say, ancillary industries you can get into metro rail. Use your real estate of railway stations that you have pan city, and it will again add a new revenue stream. Then apart from that, freight can be a very good revenue stream. You have once you are able to integrate the freight transport, you can easily do water transport. Then you can do ro-ro trains. We have already seen how trains were really useful to transport oxygen pan India in the COVID second wave. So that can also be really utilized as a social service as well as a good revenue stream generator. You can even have oxygen plants within your station, some of the stations where you have a spare space. So that can also be really useful for not just for revenue generation, but also as a social use case for the cities you operate in. So freight can really be a very big revenue generation, which can be done at night when you are not doing commuter transport. So you really utilize. So that's where we are thinking you can really nicely use your entire capacity, generate revenue, and really avoid your assets staying idle for a long time. Like half of the day, the assets are lying idle. So you can really utilize it 24 by 7. Then you can, as we go ahead, we have to think about integrating autonomous vehicles also. They are already into their third generation right now. You can see from this chart, like they're already into their highly automated third generation, which will be completed. The testing for this will be completed by this year end in Hamburg, Germany. And then they'll be, I think, within next 5 years, they'll be ready with fourth and fifth fully autonomous fully autonomous driving, where no driver is required. So we really have to think about this, how we integrate autonomous vehicles, and so that you have an end-to-end transit, electric transit going ahead. And this is going to be a big revenue generator. Like the market by 2026 for autonomous vehicles is going to be more than around 500 billion. Today it is just around 50 billion. So I think it's a right time we think about how to integrate autonomous vehicles, and this can be really useful for citizens as well as it will avoid autonomous vehicle getting in competition, full competition with metro rail. So start thinking about integrating them as soon as possible. Then these are some of the international organizations, automotive organizations, etc., working with autonomous electric vehicles. So you can see like this is very important as we go ahead. Then there is another revenue stream which we are working on, wherein this is like it satisfies two or three different requirements. Like there is an emergency response management requirement on platforms as well as feeder lines, where suppose there is a blackout, then you have to take care of the citizens. So this is a very unique new product made by Roots in India in collaboration with AWS Germany, wherein you can offer citizens these fully off-grid solar enabled waiting areas which have a e-paper screen, which have lights, and which have charging, USB charging, as well as fast chargers, etc. It has a battery system. So in case of such emergency situations, citizens are fully informed. They have like waiting area they assigned. They can even have a speaker system here for announcements, for displays, etc. What is happening, when the next train will arrive, and also proper lighting. So these two couple of solutions can be really very good for emergency response. And through the display, we can also think about advertisement revenues that can be generated. This again can be a very good revenue stream, as well as emergency response provider for citizens. Then we also need to think about this is of course a bit futuristic, wherein hydrogen trains are also coming up very fast. And at the moment, we can of course they are very costly at the moment, but then we can think of them as again a part of emergency response systems, wherein suppose you have a blackout, and even your electric main grid goes down, for example, at times, then you can think about this like keeping one of the hydrogen trains as backup. It doesn't require any electricity. It runs on fuel cells, so that can really be useful to provide some kind of relief to the customers. If there's a fault also on the railway tracks, you can still isolate and then run one of these trains to take care of emergency situations, etc. So these trains are coming in fast, and I think they will be pretty big in next 5 years. Then, of course, drones are going to be there in the next, I think, 3 to 5 years. They're already being used for small parcel as well as courier, etc., courier service. And I think electric drones will be very useful when Hyperloop project between Bombay and Pune gets implemented. For example, like a person traveling between Bombay Pune in 15 to 20 minutes will not want to again waste 1 hour in local traffic. So I think there is a use case for drones. You can have drone pads within metro stations. So when a person comes there, he can just take a drone and reach his home or reach his office. So this is another emerging sector we have to think about. And with these, all of these electric feeder line integration and your own main service being electric, carbon trading will be another very big and very useful revenue stream that you can think of. And recent industry announcements that we have all seen is, of course, Reliance is investing more than 75,000 crores into all of these sectors like solar photovoltaics, storage battery, electrolyzer factory, and fuel cell. So I think we are on the right track when we say like we need to integrate these services. We need to think about these services, and everybody is looking at them as a new source of revenue generation, and that's the direction metro railways and railways also have to look at. Not look at them as competitors, but really look at them as new revenue stream providers. Same thing with Siemens. You have seen like Siemens is also getting into big time into electric vehicles, 5G, cloud, and hydrogen. So we are on the right track. We also need to think in that direction to integrate these services. We are planning similar integration in the Man station you see here, which is one of the main stations for Pune Metro Line 3. And what we are trying to do is really integrate, make this as a green station or as a demo station for Pune Metro Line 3. We are working on solar PV as well as some of the biogas use cases. It can be energy aggregator as well. It will integrate multimodal electric first mile, last mile feeder services. It can integrate commuter and freight transit. Going ahead, we are working on use cases for autonomous vehicle as well as getting ready for various use cases for drone taxi and how to integrate hyperloop customers, etc., which can use these different services. It will also be a big part of integrating with local utility. It is part of PMRDA already, and that way it can really help to integrate and provide healthcare services, oxygen transport, water and waste transport also, which is a kind of a symbiotic service. And of course, we are also integrating the emergency response, passenger waiting, green concept. It is fully off grid. So that is a new concept we are also integrating to really make the entire month as a demo station for Pune Metro Line 3. And as a conclusion, that's really what we come at is we need to promote electric transit end to end for commuters and freight. Only commuters is not going to work because freight is a big part, and freight is also a very huge revenue generator. So that way we have to really look at it. So this entire solution really promotes a use of green energy. So that's what is happening worldwide, and that will also save us a lot of expenses, or you can say operating expenses as we go ahead. So it's again a symbiotic use of the solution. Then we are also promoting first mile, last mile multimodal integration. We are promoting green buildings through this solution, and also taking care of bio waste to reduce GHG emission. That is one of the big emissions which really affect our climate. We can really reduce them at source. Like if a city is producing bio waste, we can tackle it locally. It doesn't have to be transported. It doesn't have to be dumped anywhere. So that way we can really reduce GHG emissions locally. And then we are also scaling up, helping to scale up renewable energy and boosting the RE industry with integrating the rooftop solar. So that is also a possibility. And we are getting ready for future tech integrations. And with all this, we are really supporting the local industries. We are supporting reducing the oil imports for India, and really, working along with the local government goals of making India and making India self-reliant. So I think that is very crucial for any project success. You work with the local government and you work with the local citizens and be inclusive to everybody. So I think in a gist, that is the whole conclusion. This project has already been presented in ISGF, India Smart Grid Foundation, and it has also been selected in the top 10 concepts from among global 80 entries for the Smart Move Challenge by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs in March this year. Like one of the shortlisting member was also Oxford University. So this is really what we want to go ahead and implement. So thanks everybody for listening to our presentation, and me and Akshay Sharma will be very happy to receive your comments, to receive your feedback. And this is our email and phone number if you want to get in touch with us. Apart from Pune Metro Line 3, we are also open to implement this in any other metro project pan India. So we are also open to share our expertise for these multiple revenue streams with you. Thank you very much.